Howdy all, and welcome to Lax Lives. I think it's time to play a little Void World. Alright, so we have pretty much come to the end of Void World, I think. I am... why are you spawning pigs down here? Stop. Stop. Just... This is not where you're supposed to spawn things. Explain to me what part of this looks like I should spawn below myself. So I'm not sure this is going to go up on the correct day because this is, like I said, going to be the final episode of Void World. We're going to look at some of the things I've done leading up to the final episode here. But I do want to finish off the quests that I currently have working. And we'll talk a little bit about the quests that aren't working as soon as I figure out why pigs are spawning through the bottom of my world. Okay, so let's talk about the meat quest. So we had a little problem with the meat quest, and the problem was this. The only thing I had left available to me was chickens, because for some reason my world is broken, and it is no longer spawning anything except... Did that pig just kick me? What the heck? I think that pig just kicked me. It's no longer spawning anything except... bats. There are no... Whoops. Gotta watch that. The boots I'm wearing cause things to get thrown around when I hit shift. Or the legs or something, I don't know. But, yeah, so whatever happened, mobs do not spawn anymore, which is important to my problems here with the meat quest. Animals do not spawn anymore, naturally. You can breed them. Pretty sure I saw chickens breeding finally. Like, they're getting the hearts over their heads, but I'm not really seeing that many new animals appearing, although it does appear to be working. Like, I've got pigs and chickens, but, like, I used to get, like, cows and pigs and sheep, remember? Just spawning naturally out in the grass areas and stuff, and I haven't seen that in forever. And I used to have the mob grinder that I built with the spikes and stuff out in that building over there. Nothing spawns in that building except bats. That's it, bats. We got bats, and that's it. That's all you get, bats. And so some of my system here was running off of mob essence coming from my grinder, and now that my grinder isn't working anymore, like my auto spawner isn't working, or wasn't working, and then okay, why did I need an auto spawner? Let's talk about that. So I'm missing one pumpkin. I don't know where it's at. I don't care. I'm not gonna find it. I looked for pumpkins, and I thought maybe it might be out at the previous at the boss area. Remember where hey, little pig man, out where you're supposed to do the parkour, and I didn't. I just flew around. I actually went out and drained the sewage, and then underneath the sewage is that black stuff. I forget what it's called. It causes wither when you touch it. And so I did fly out there and try and do that and look for a pumpkin. Didn't find it. I don't know where that last pumpkin is. I do know that I have 2 pumpkins that came out of the city that do not match the book for some reason. And I've had them for a long time now. These pumpkins right here came from the city, and neither one of them will register into a... that's rubber, yeah. And so, oh, dang it, really, really. I cannot keep enough storage going for this stupid quest, I tell ya. This here is the reason why I don't think this is going to go up on the day of. Um, what I managed to do was I've got this ME interface, and I set it up to do the timber, right? Remember we were trying to do the saplings. I finally did most of that by hand, except the jungle saplings is 100,000, everything else is 10,000. Got that finished. Well, then next was wood. And so instead of letting my system get the wood, I instead use my ME system, which can now draw from EMC. I let that go ahead and do it. And finished off everything except the rubber wood. I had to let the actual... because rubber wood is the one thing that can't be done with EMC, so I let it actually chop down and do that. And so that's all done now. All the wood was done. And then when that was finished, it asked me for apples and rubber. I did the apples by hand, just grabbed a bunch of apples out of EMC. And then the rubber, of course, I just let that do that. So bam, we have finished that quest. And that gave me 5 legendary bags. It should, because that one quest took us forever. We got a wooden gear. This is a lot reward. We got, one of those things that says a lot of EMC, but you can't actually get EMC from. We got a Firefly. Oh, cool. We got router utility. We got, ooh, there we go. That's a good reward. So let's see. We got these. Oh, those aren't too bad. 17,000 apiece. These are pretty good. 4 million or a million apiece. Firefly. Oh man, look at Firefly is worth almost 5 million EMC. That's crazy. That can't be turned in, so I don't know why that's a... This is worth 2 million EMC? Wow. Wow. That's crazy. I've got a lot of weird stuff on me at the moment that I don't know why I'm carrying around. That would solve my problems really good. So we got that quest done. Power plant quest is another one that I'm going to need more time for. I think I can finish that one, but it's going to have to wait. Finish the plutonium, so we can claim that reward. Gave me 2 epic bags. Vines and powered light. I don't think we've seen that powered light before. Oh, we have. Okay. But I need 64,000 Eulorium, and like I said, I'm currently having problems with storage. Technical Plus did not unlock for me, so that's a whole section of quests I can't do. Which is why I don't really care if I find the pumpkins. I've got 3 spots left, and I've got 2 pumpkins that it won't accept as part of the quest. So maybe I dropped one in the void. I don't know. This one here, I actually have the 100 drives, and it is currently working on the 64K or 1,000 storage cells. Although I'm about to pull another ME drive out of here. I'm gonna grab a few of these too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The problem is that how many does this hold? Does it hold 8 or 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It holds 10. So let me get 10 of these then. The problem is that it wants all of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10. It wants all of it available to be able to do it. Okay, and we'll tie you in, and then we'll get in these drives. And so when it's doing the crafting, it's making everything. And so it's stored 13,000 glowstone, 89,000 Certus quartz, 22,000 logic processors, over 3,000 of those, over 7,000 of those at the moment. Over 3,000 of those, over 30,000 of those is stored. This is the thing that I need currently that I need to finish off the power quest. This is, right, it wants to make 22,000 of those. Once again, I'm just going to need the time for it to finish. But like I said, I keep running into the point where there isn't enough storage for it. And so I've been slowly, you can see this is my third ME drive I've added to the system trying to complete this quest. I do have several million, oh, yeah, right here. I think that's 7.5 million. 1, 2, 3. Or no, that's 70 million, I think. 74 million EMC waiting to go into the system. That's going to do my Yellorium when I get to the point where I can do it. I think I've got some made right now. Yellorium. Oh no, I don't have any made. Never mind. Yeah, so once again, that's going to take some time, which is why I don't think we're going to be able to get the episode up tomorrow, because it's going to take me longer, or today, tomorrow, whatever. For me tomorrow, it'll probably be a day later, and it'll just be late because I need more time, and there's nothing left to do except time. And I've had my server up for a couple of days, 3 days at this point, just running this stuff, trying to get all this completed. Look, the pigs are still falling through. Stop spawning downwards, you weird thing. Alright, let me take one quick glance through the quest real quick, and then we'll talk about the mod pack itself. So those are all done. Power plant, I need to finish the Yellorium. Greenhouse, I'm waiting on the meat, which I'm not quite halfway through, but things are moving faster now that I have a pig. Technical Plus I can't do because it never gave me the quest. Storage Plus is currently in construction, and Pumpkins I can't do. So that's all the quests. We killed both bosses, Eldamore and Morrison, and so those guys are dead. Yeah, if I don't know what happened here, I was setting up a thing to drain the sewage out of my system, and when I put in the retriever, it broke all of my liquid pipes apart. And so I had to put them all back together with a wrench by hand to get my mob essence flowing again. These are fluid trash cans set up to suck down sewage, so keep it out of the system. Yeah. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about the mod pack. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed parts of it. Let's say that. I thought the quests could have been a little neater. Oh, we've got some missing chunk there at the moment. I thought the mob quest, or the quest line could have been a little slicker. It was pretty good. The story was great. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the story. I just felt that it could have flowed from one to the next a little better. The note system didn't really work for me. Sometimes it was a little vague on how to get your next note. Yeah, it was enjoyable. My biggest problem with this pack was the stupid these. I hate that we go from. I wish there was a little more involved in what was going on and a little less involved in see how many of these things you can make. Like, it was on the right path, and I realize this is in 1.7, and I'm sure that in 1.10, when we get some quest packs in 1.10, they'll be amazing, since you can build in whole buildings and stuff. And so it'd be really cool to see something like this, where the world rebuilds as you supply them with the raw materials and give it a purpose. Because me collecting 64,000 Yellorium for no reason, just so I can complete the quest, which is what I'm going to do, has no purpose for me. But if it was like if I put in the 64,000 Yellorium and the entire city lights up because I've brought power back to the city, right? That would be a reason. But yeah, currently not really a big reason to even repair the reactor, which I didn't do. But yeah, it's enjoyable. What I did and trying to figure out how to get some of these things to work together was pretty cool. And I did play with some mods I hadn't used before, and play with some mods in different ways that I hadn't had to before because of the way this is set up. I didn't play with everything, of course. I've got a bunch of stuff where I just completed quests, and they're like, "Oh, well, now you can do this with them," but I didn't really have a purpose to do that. So I'm just basically now waiting for things to complete. And yeah, we should be able to finish off the power plant. I hope that's the last power plant quest. Greenhouse and Storage Plus. Technical Plus is broken, and that was another thing that I came across as we went along. Was some things are just broken, and I can't do some things because when I go to use them, it causes the pack to crash to desktop. I had a lot of problems using thermal expansion stuff, especially. Like the teleporter plates, crash to desktop. Using the cyclic assemblers with recipes, crash to desktop on a lot of recipes I tried to do. Oh, I also hated the quests that required you to make things by hand. Like 10,000 cakes that I have to make by hand. I could have a machine put the ingredients into the workbench for me, but I had to personally remove them from the crafting window, otherwise it didn't count. And I wish I'd have known about this way earlier. I think we probably would have gone through this faster if I'd have known about that way earlier. Rather than me trying to figure out ways to get EMC, I could have had one of these set up way back at the beginning if I'd have known anything about Project E, which I didn't. So what I know now would make this quest pack way easier than it was for me. But yeah, alright, well, I will be back then. Oh, yeah, I forgot about those. I made a bunch of those because I thought I was going to need them. I will be back then when some of these things finish making, and hopefully we'll just have a few more quests to turn in, and we'll be at the end of Void World. Alright, so we're back 3 days later. It took a while to get this stupid meat quest done. Way longer than it should have. It probably should have taken longer to get the Yellorium quest done as well, but I've been jumping on. I was jumping on like every, I don't know, whenever I had a chance, and swapping out my Klein stars, and then dumping all of the EMC into Yellorium and throwing it in a chest to get sucked into my system. So yeah, it's this is it. This is the end of Void World for me. Talked a bit about my thoughts on it. Pretty good pack, a little glitchy here and there. Pumpkins are broken for me. I'm pretty sure one of my pumpkins fell into the void. I'm pretty sure that when I was working, I don't remember which pumpkin it was, but I know one of the pumpkins fell into the void, and then two of the pumpkins refused to admit that they're part of the quest. and so I'm not able to finish the pumpkin quest. I'm not able to finish the uh, technical plus quest because I believe jetpack quests never appeared for me. That's what I was reading. Is that right though? Isn't the jetpack quest under something else? Yeah, no, it should have been right there. So yeah, so no pumpkins, no technical plus. That's all right. I'm not really a completionist, anyways. I like to get things, as much as I can get done, but I've never really been get that 100% kind of guy. Uh, in games, anyways. And so, I'm content. I'm content with what we got done. It was a pretty crazy ride. Required a lot of finagling things for sure. Some of the quests I hated. Absolutely hated the cake quest. I I think that was probably the worst of the quests. I don't understand why these mod packs like this have to devolve into make a billion things by hand. That's not fun for me, and it just seems kind of mean-spirited. And this is not the only one of this kind of mod pack I've played, with a storyline that devolves into make a billion things. I did play through Agrarian Skies 1, right? I didn't play 2 because I didn't like 1. 1 was alright at the beginning, but as you got toward the end, and then it just got more and more ridiculous, like there's some things you can do by hand, and there's some things you can do with your machines. And I don't mind the ones that you can automate. Like if the cake quest could have been automated so that I just had to supply it with 10,000 cakes, that would have been one thing. But it was a crafting quest, and so I had to craft 10,000 cakes. Um, and cakes are complicated with buckets of milk and sugar and eggs and wheat. It's a lot of ingredients to necessarily need to put in, but yeah. So yeah, quests that got completed since the earlier point where I quit. Storage Plus completed. You're not gonna believe this, but this quest required me to make 100 ME drives, 1,000 64K ME storage cells, and does not give a reward of any kind. Not that the rewards in this game were very balanced anyways, but yeah, really? No reward for that quest? What the heck? Uh, we finished something else in here I finished. Power plant. Power plant. Yes. I got the 64,000 Yellorium turned in. Yay. Greenhouse. I finished the 10,000 meat ingots. Yay. Those are the last 3 quests I had to do. And they were really complicated. And I tried to use the AE system for most of it. Well, not the meat ingots, but the rest of it. Alright, let's see what we got from our final quest here. So I got 5 legendary reward bags. And for our first reward bag we get, nice, Gem of Eternal Density. That's nice. That's like 4 million EMC there. We got Obsidian Chisels. I think that says like 505 of them. And of course, you don't have enough room to actually hold them. And they're only worth 68 EMC apiece, so they're not really a great reward. They don't stack. I don't know why it's like 505 of them. They disappear when they don't go in your inventory. What's the point? Look, 7,412 drying racks. Same thing. They're only worth a little bit of EMC. I mean, I'm sure in the beginning they've been awesome reward, but legendary reward, legendary. Does this seem very legendary to you? 7,000 drying racks, and you only get as many as you have space in your inventory for. Wooden gear was a nice reward. A trading post. I think that was worth quite a chunk too. Yeah, not as much as the wooden gear or these gems of eternal density. So yeah, so those are our final rewards. And yeah, it's I mean, I learned about the AE system a little better than I had before. Mostly, I just had to wait around with my server running while the machines made bits and pieces. But I did try to get larger blocks of CPU storage going. I really don't understand how the crafting system works, and that is something I've got to learn. Um, like, I put this thing in, and it clearly was doing things. Like, I could right-click on it, and it would show it was doing things. But while it was doing things, these wouldn't let me do anything. And I didn't understand why that was a thing. Why couldn't I use each separate block? I thought you could make as many of these as you wanted. Heck, I had one there. Why didn't it let me use that one? I don't get it, but it's, yeah, I could only do 6,000 Eulorium at a time, and it would only make them one at a time. And so I did wind up probably doing most of the Eulorium by pulling it out of EMC and throwing it in that chest. It's basically the same thing I did with the wood system. I used my AE system to do that. I wish I'd have known about this alchemical tome earlier. That would have made my life a lot easier. But that's the way I feel about a lot of this stuff, is once you get to the end and you've worked your way through everything, and you're just like, man, you know, if I'd have known about that earlier in the game, things would have been way different. There's my 2 pumpkins that refused to go in the quest. This was pretty awesome, and I wish I'd have known about this way earlier. I'd have definitely saved up my EMC and gotten the energy collectors and relays going, and one of these time pendant things. But yeah, all in all, I enjoyed most of it. Like I said, some of the quests were terrible. All these things seem to fall into that. I'm really hoping with the 1.10 stuff coming out that we can get some actual, like, modded Minecraft quest-based with quests that mean something. I know I played a little bit of that rebuild thing. I don't remember what it's called, but you complete the monument, and when you bring back the wool and stuff, it builds parts of the towns. And so I would totally love to see a mod pack, something like this one, but or even Agrarian Skies, you know, a Void World style where you're trying to rebuild the world, where when you turn in the quest, things actually happen. This was interesting with the quest system, the quest block system I'd never seen before. This quest gate. I've never played a mod pack where it's used. Or if I did, I wasn't aware it was used in it. And so that was interesting. And there were some changes to the world because of things that happened. But you know, they're like the 64,000 Eulorium quest here, right? For example, this is that's about enough fuel to never have to refuel the reactor ever again, ever, right? I didn't refuel a reactor with it. I threw that stuff into a quest box and it disappeared forever. I didn't get to use it. And I think that's dumb. I just do. Like, if I'd had a quest to rebuild the reactor to, I think I already mentioned this, but if I had a quest to rebuild the reactor to repower the town, that would have been awesome, right? Because things would have happened, and instead of, like, I don't know, I assume there must have been some way to get the quest to recognize that the reactor had been rebuilt and turned on, and, but, instead we just threw it away. 10,000 cakes for the party, threw it away. It all went into the quest system. And the quest system doesn't do anything with it. It's not like you're using it. All that wood, all the cobble, all of it just goes away forever for no purpose. And I like the quests that are making you learn about things. That's kind of fun to me, where you work your way through the quest lines. I thought this one was pretty good with I mean, I was still confused, but I thought it was pretty good about adding on to like the AE system as you worked your way through the AE quests. But then in the end, it's like make 100 ME drives and make 1064K storage, and now you'll have all the storage you ever need. Except that it all goes into the quest system and vanishes, and so you don't actually get to use it. But yeah. So yeah, if you like this kind of thing, definitely check it out. Of the two I've done a series on, I like this one better. And I've tried a couple others, but this one just seemed like it had a cool story, and I enjoyed it. A little glitchy here and there, and storyline could have been a little tighter, but I like RPGs, so just look at it from that point of view. I like RPGs where the quests you do sometimes matter, and I didn't feel like some of these quests were even close to mattering. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. Click like if you like, subscribe, be sure and catch the next one. I will talk to you later.